The following program is produced by students of the Brian Lamb School of Communication at Purdue University.
On this week's edition of Fast Track, we'll meet with some jazz enthusiasts and visit a local bakery.
We'll also learn how to stay healthy this flu season, meet up with the creators of a successful campus website, and visit the Ringo Gallery.
We'll find out about the sustainability movement here at Purdue and visit some local sushi restaurants.
Welcome back to Fast Track. We are bringing you this week's show from the Purdue Memorial Union. I'm Holly Gaither.
And I'm Madeline Plezak. Music enthusiasts, band members, and professional musicians flooded Purdue's campus in February, marking the 29th Annual Jazz Festival. Bands from multiple states traveled far and wide to compete in this year's festivities while getting fundamental help from the pros. Fast Track reporter Brody Carter has more.
Talented high school and middle school students came from over 4 different states to perform soulful arrangements dripping with groove at the 29th Annual Jazz Fest competition.
The Purdue Jazz Festival is a pretty much all-encompassing festival. It starts on a Thursday, ends on a Saturday night, and we have the biggest part of the festival is Saturday, where we bring in around 90 high school bands from a 4-state area. And they play on 7 different stages on the campus at the Memorial Union and in Stewart Center and Powell Hall. And they have a competition. We have judges, 3 judges that listen to each band play, give them comments, and then a little score. And then we have clinics that happen all day long and various concerts with professional jazz musicians and musicians of international renown.
Experienced band directors like Daniel Pritchett have found this year's festival being one of the most educational and enjoyable for the students.
We were an honor band at the very first one in 1991. It's very relaxed. I like the fact that the judges seem to be maybe a little less intense than they've been some years. You know, they've been very supportive of educationally working with the kids to make it better. I mean, you know, every kid here wants to feel good about what they do, and the 2 clinics that my bands have had so far today have been terrific. The judges have been terrific.
Professional musicians made a guest appearance at the festival, including trumpeter Lenny Foy, trombonist Delphio Marcellus, and the saxophone player for the Dave Matthews Band, Jeff Coffin. These musicians performed and also hosted clinics to help aspiring musicians tune their ears to the fundamentals of jazz.
The big focus at this year's festival was the idea of listening, you know, and being able to develop your ears and being able to listen to many different things at once, not just focusing on yourself, but focusing on what's going on around you, what's happening with the music, you know, with the rhythm section, with the other trumpets, you know, with the soloist, you know, and really making sure that your part is interacting.
The number one thing is listening. That's it. Always listen, always listen. Use your ears, they'll never fail. Music is an oral experience. Okay. So a lot of times we rely on the sheet music, and even though we see that the note is written wrong, our ear is telling us that it's wrong. But you know what I'm saying?
Just as the lights fade and the stage is swept, Purdue University will have to wait in hopeful anticipation for next year's Jazz Fest. I'm Brody Carter, reporting for Fast Track.
O'Rear's Pastry Shop is one of West Lafayette's hidden treasures that can be found serving donuts, cookies, and other pastries. My co-host, Madeline Plezak, brings us more.
Located at 321 North 9th Street in West Lafayette is O'Rear's Pastry Shop. This family-owned and operated business is famous for its mouth-watering treats.
Actually, my grandfather, when he came back from overseas, from fighting overseas, he worked at the bakery in Rensselaer, Indiana, and by the time he was about 25, he took over and renamed it Daryl's Pastry Shop, and it was in our family for about 48 years, and then my father took over, and about 3 or 4 years later, business was slowing down, and most of it was out the back, so we moved down here to O'Rear's, and we've been here about 9 years now.
With a wide variety of pastries and other sweets, O'Rear serves more than just the Lafayette community.
We actually provide for a number of businesses. We actually go all the way to Williamsport, Indiana, and then we have a few local restaurants and businesses here in town that do our services. We make everything from cookies to muffins to breads to pastries, anything that you need.
Bread baked at O'Rear's is served in many restaurants located in the Lafayette area, including 9 Irish Brothers. Many community members have been going to O'Rear's for years as well.
I'm a Purdue student, but I'm originally from Lafayette, so growing up, my family and I always went to O'Rear's. My mom always got us our birthday cakes and stuff like that from O'Rear's Bakery, and it's a really nice little family-owned business and fun to go to.
Littner says most of their customers are Lafayette community members, but Purdue students do come in for their favorite homemade donuts. One Purdue student says she's heard of O'Rear's pastry shop, but has yet to try it.
I've never been to O'Rear's Bakery before, but I've had some friends go and they said that they really liked it.
An industrial-sized oven and mixers make O'Rear's pastry shop a dream come true for any serious baker. Rainbows of frosting and sprinkles line the shelves, waiting to be topped on a specialty cake, cupcake, or cookie. O'Rear's pastry shop opens at 6 a.m. every day, including Sundays. Their hours are listed on their Facebook page, and you can contact them at 765-742-2285. From special orders to walk-in customers, O'Rear's is happy to serve its customers for over 40 years. Reporting for Fast Track, I'm Madeline Plezak. Coming up, we'll find out about how students on campus are dealing with the flu season and hear about Purdue Lala's creator's new venture.
We'll be right back after this.
We are all Boilermakers, but we're also much more. We're history makers, exploring the farthest reaches of our universe, often when strapped to a rocket. We are hope makers, rebuilders of Haitian cityscapes who ensure they'll now withstand any disaster. We are difference makers, developers of drought-resistant crops that just might end world hunger. The fact is, what we make moves the world forward. We are Purdue, makers all.
Welcome back to Fast Track. Our very own student meteorologist, James Parrish, is here to give us a weather update. James, the groundhog saw his shadow. Can we expect an early spring?
Hey Madeline, I know the groundhog saw its shadow, but unfortunately I don't have really any spring weather or warm weather in the forecast that will remind you of spring. But I do have a little bit of a wintry mix coming later next week, but right now we're okay because that Clipper system and cold front moved past us already. It's into Ohio. That's what brought the rain showers last night and early this morning, but it's producing a lot of rain, some freezing rain, and some snow in the eastern half of the Great Lakes region. Now there is another low pressure system that's heading up the coast into the northeast coast. Those two systems are going to collide and actually produce a very strong nor'easter. This storm is going to have a little bit of everything with it. We're talking coastal flooding, gale-force winds, and a whole bunch of precipitation. We're talking 18 to 24 inches of snow possible in Massachusetts. That's a lot of snow. When it's coming down that hard, it's going to be hard to move around. So if you're headed, this is not a very good weekend to head to the East Coast with all that precipitation. But luckily we live in Indiana, which is very far from Massachusetts and the Northeast area. That's because high pressure is building in. So on Saturday, we're looking at a whole bunch of sunshine with highs in the 30s. On Sunday, we're talking another chance of severe weather, but for a different part of the country. Down in the south near Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, they have a chance of seeing some isolated severe thunderstorms or possibly even an isolated tornado. This storm system is going to pass Indiana Sunday night on into Monday morning. So that's when we're likely to see rain showers. I don't expect to hear any thunder or see any lightning during those rain showers, but those rain showers are likely and could produce quite a bit of rainfall on Sunday. Highs on Sunday will be in the 40s. Monday, we're going to dry out because that cold front will be past us. It'll be in Ohio on Monday, so we're looking dry with a partly cloudy sky. Could possibly see some spots of just nothing but pure sunshine out there. Find out when that wintry mix will hit and if it's going to come close to West Lafayette. Holly, back to you.
With these colder temperatures comes winter illness. After having gone through one of the worst flu outbreaks in history with the H1N1 epidemic, many are shocked to see another wave sweeping the nation. Doctors in the area cautioning students to continue to take precautions. Fast Track's Taylor Adams brings us the story.
It's flu season here in the U.S. once again, and it has arrived a few weeks early. And college students are one of the groups that are most susceptible.
Yeah, I wound up missing 2 exams that week and had to make those up when I got back, and it really hurt my semester. But
PUSH is currently out of flu vaccines for the season.
The common cold generally is going to be gradual as it comes on. Somebody says, I'm blowing my nose, I'm a little more sniffly today, I'm tired, or tomorrow, the next day they feel a little bit worse. By the 3rd day, they're coughing a lot more and they're saying, I have a cold. Influenza, most of the times the students can tell us exactly when the symptoms started, because it's just boom. My temperature went way up, my body started chilling, my muscles ache, I had no energy, and it's just usually very dramatic. Counterintuitive, try to avoid the places where there are a lot of sick people. We've got some flu packs out on our counter that students can take home. And one of the big components is hand sanitizer. Folks, before they start feeling sick, making sure they keep their hands as clean as possible.
The Purdue Student Health Center may be out of vaccines, but just a few miles away for only $23, the IU Health Arnett retail pharmacy still has flu shots available.
As far as the flu shot goes, the walk-in hours are usually Monday through Friday. Definitely compared to last year, we're having more people, but even just within the last few weeks or so, we've had an increase in number, I think just because of the higher prevalence that's been going through Indiana this year.
Most of us are well aware of the relevance of getting your flu shot before the onset of the flu season, but can you or should you still receive the vaccine if you've already had the flu? As college students on a large campus, one can never be too cautious.
Still, it has last year's most common flu strain and this year's most common flu strain. So we can't be certain which flu that you had if you've already had the flu, so it's still a good idea to get the flu shot even if you've already had it.
It's clear to see that this flu season is hitting the entire country pretty hard, yet there are still a few people who aren't sold on the idea of actually getting a flu shot.
I'm not getting it this time, but I have heard that it's been really bad, so I should probably just make sure I take better precautions. But after the H1N1 outbreak, I didn't really think it was coming back again, but probably might think about it.
I would say you should probably get it, because I know this flu season's pretty bad. A lot of people have gotten the flu already, and the last thing you want is to be out of college for a week. You miss a lot, and you really can't recover and catch up from it.
Reporting for Fast Track News, I'm Taylor Adams.
Inspiration can be sparked from anywhere. 2 Purdue students were inspired to redefine beauty by promoting confidence through fashion, creativity, intelligence, and global awareness by creating a website called Purdue La La. The 2 girls have decided to expand this idea and are launching a new site on living fashionably and cheaply after graduation. My co-anchor Holly Gaither brings us more.
Purdue seniors Molly Longas and Catherine Crowley are expanding their mission to promote confidence through fashion and creativity by launching a new site, goingforbroke.com. The site will include fashion and beauty tips, as well as fun recipes and financial advice for college graduates making it on their own.
Catherine and Molly met 4 years ago and knew right away they could make a difference together.
Really creative, and we work really well together. We love to collaborate on projects, so we decided to make it one big project the past 4 years, and now we're just going to step out of our comfort zone a little bit and create a bigger splash, I think.
Our look kind of changed as we grew, but one thing we want to make sure that Going for Broke is a really strong, clear brand. And then also we're going to have an emphasis on budgeting, on being young and being broke.
Now, as graduating seniors, they are expanding their website to grow as they do.
Crafts, as well as cooking, entertaining, fashion. We love to do photography. So basically it's going to be very photography heavy, and it's all original content.
New DIYs and recipes and a lot of fun things, and it's really cool to know that girls on campus came up with these things.
Where do you find this kind of drive and inspiration? Look no further than what's in front of you.
People that I've met here have really inspired me. Really great girls that I've met, really interesting and passionate and fun to be around, and just really nice people. And I think it's just the people walking down the street at Purdue, the people I meet every weekend, and friends of friends. I think they're my biggest inspiration for these websites that we've been creating.
Their fashion tips, and I just think it's awesome that two girls from Purdue started this website with just some great ideas and have just inspired other girls such as me. I would love to be a part of something like that.
Being young and broke can be a challenge, and these girls hope to help graduates just like themselves.
Just graduated from college, doesn't have much money, and it's going to be really centered about cheaply living, but living the life that you want to live very creatively and with beautiful things that may not be as expensive as what you want to be.
DIY bangles from the website, and I absolutely love them. They were so easy to make and really fun, and I've actually gotten a lot of compliments on them.
It as a personal project turned into something they are truly passionate about.
I think no matter what you're doing, you're walking down the street, you're sitting in class, you're watching TV, and ideas pop into your head. Constantly write down ideas and constantly thinking of ways to tweak it for your audience.
Their site expands. They hope to continue to inspire women to live fashionably and affordably.
It will help to change the reputation of our generation a little bit. You know, they say our generation is going to be the first one that, you know, doesn't get jobs right away like our parents did. And I think a lot of us have had the privilege, which is really wonderful, to, you know, be able to go to school and be able to afford college because our parents helped us out. And we really haven't had to worry about budgeting and living completely on our own. And I think we get thrown into the real world with no idea of what to do. And, you know, most of us really aren't, you know, we aren't accountants, we're not budget experts. So I hope that it'll impact people our age to really be smart about their money, but to also realize that they can still do the things that they want and still live a fun, fashionable life.
Catherine and Molly expect the site to launch by the end of February and have high hopes for the success of their new website. I'm Holly Gaither, reporting to you for Fast Track. Up next on Fast Track, we'll stop by the Ringgold Gallery, learn about how the Purdue community is making a move to be more sustainable, and try out some sushi.
We'll also take a look into the 7-day weather forecast. We'll be right back after this.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
The Stewart Center is usually a place synonymous with studying and long nights, but as Fast Track reporter Steve Schreck will tell you, it's also home to a gallery with a new impressive exhibit with a lot of history.
In the 1950s and 60s, O. Winston Link undertook an interesting task to map the end of steam railroading in the United States. Some of his most impressive work is on display at the Robert L. Ringgold Gallery in the Stewart Center. The exhibit is called Trains That Pass in the Night.
These are photographs that were done in the late 1950s by an artist named O. Winston Link. He was at the time very well known and has since become very well known especially in the railroading community, although he was technically a commercial photographer. And he went out to document the last days of steam locomotives in the United States, primarily I think in Virginia, North Carolina, that region.
More than just photographing these images, Link actually created what he wanted